Game with the 50-50, game with the 50-50. All right, ladies, you got your fans? All right, y'all, let's do a little work about let's here we go, y'all. I don't know if y'all know, but Westlove and the 478 band. Real quick, ladies, hey guys, ladies, well. All right, y'all, for the menu. Game with the 50-50, game with the 50-50. All right, ladies, you got your fans? All right, y'all, let's do a little work about let's here we go, y'all. I don't know if y'all know, but Westlove and the 478 band. Y'all, real quick, ladies and guys, and ladies as well. All right, y'all, for the menu. Game with the 50-50, game with the 50-50. All right, ladies, you got your fans? All right, now, let's do a little work about let's here we go, y'all. I don't know if y'all know, but Westlove and the 478 band.
Hey, Grand Rising this morning. Hello, how are you guys? I decided to step in for about an hour before my appointment. Y'all, it is cold out here in this southern state. When I say Georgia got some cold weather, I mean it's cold. But anyway, Grand Rising, everyone, Grand Rising. Today we will be talking about Martin Luther King today. I know everybody know Martin Luther King, but what about his mother? What about his brother? Did y'all know that Martin Luther King's brother was assassinated 1 year after he was under mysterious circumstances now? You hear his wife, she's still alive, y'all. These people's family members are still alive. I was just looking at Martin Luther King kids, y'all. They're still alive. It ain't been that long ago. But anyway, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Who else? Martin Luther King, his mother. Oh, that famous "I Have a Dream" speech. Yeah. Did y'all know that "I Have a Dream" speech? He did not eat. That was not on his mind. He had wrote another speech the night before that "I Have a Dream" speech. And Mahalia Jackson, a whole lot of y'all might remember her, that famous gospel singer. He had told her earlier that day before he went on the platform to speak, he said, I had a dream last night. And he was telling her about the dream. So when he got on on the podium with his notes and everything, she yelled at him. Oh, she said, what about that dream you had last night? What an awesome dream. That's what she said to him. And that's how that speech emerged. He just started freestyling, y'all. He freestyled on that speech because he had it in a dream. Anyway, Grand Rising to each and every one of you. House rules is have to do copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by a copyright statute that might otherwise been infringing non-profit education or personal use. Tips the balance in favor of fair use, you guys. So let's just take a look at I'll take a look at this chick right here, right? So I was just thinking about Keke. Do y'all remember Keke, right? Keke had this most wanted was Crime Stopper, and on network probably pushed that girl over the edge with that. They played that day and night and even when they was on their off days, they played that. They harassed that girl and she was never convicted. She never went to jail. Okay, so what's the difference between her and the rest of the castmate? Destiny, they're allowed to just escape over their mugshot. You had Destiny got a mugshot. You had Maurice got a mugshot. You had all of these people getting mugshot. Martell getting a mugshot, right? But what they do, we're not allowed to talk about it. Especially in Maurice case, you're not allowed to talk about his mugshot. They want to keep it, we can't talk about that. But with Keke, they did not treat that girl right. That girl was on my heart, and thanks to Patricia Ellis Robin for bringing that up when she was on my platform the other day. When will they ever honor Keke? And y'all, I just want to bring some honor back to her name in Huntsville. She was known as Professor. She did not have that stereotype. That family had a great reputation in Huntsville. But when she get on during Love and Marriage Huntsville, mainly, I'm gonna tell you who started that mess. It was her cousin, and all of them, they started dehumanizing this girl. And then the rest of the cast join in. And then the producer, they came in on this girl. She was not treated right. She was not respected. She was dehumanized all while she was on there. But Keke kept fighting. Keke kept talking. Keke said, no, y'all not going to keep on bashing me and think I'm not going to say anything. What does her case has to do with Andre? I bet a lot of y'all never put the two and two together. This is OWN Network. Like on OWN Network and Sweetie Pie, they had this monster on that show. Like we got all these monsters on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Tim personality is just like Martell. He explode. I remember sometime on Sweetie Pie when this boy right here, Andrew and Marcus, the other little bitty little boy, they're just little kids of me, but they're grown men. They went crying. Miss Sweetie Pie was in her office. They went in there crying because he had beat them up. But he was a monster. He was always still allowed to film just like Martell. Just like now we got a female. We have a female Martell. Trish got a temper on her. Did y'all see how that girl lashed out at Melody? Did you see how Maurice was aggressive towards Melody? Did you see how Marceau and Tisha badgered this girl right here? They got something in common. They both died on OWN Network. They got something in common. OWN Network ignored all of this. They got something in common. They died mysteriously on OWN Network. Of course, Tim, right? Tim Norman didn't pull that trigger, but nevertheless, Andre passed. Love and Marriage Huntsville did not pull that trigger, but Keke passed. Yeah, there's a lot of commonality between these two, and it's all on OWN Network. My lawyer talks about all these gangs. She called them gangs on the network because they get up and they gang up on you. Yes, so and most and foremost, Martin Luther King. Yes. See, a whole lot of y'all, the public showed Martin Luther King to you guys the way they want to present him to y'all. They always want us to look like as if our black men are weak. This man was not weak. They picked and sold that part to y'all. God knows he has some wonderful speeches. But Martin Luther King, the other America, there are two Americas. That speech, that the three evils, the reparation. This man right here was bold and tough, but they never showed those speeches. They never showed him in the eye. They wanted us to do exactly what they say. That part they picked, well, turn that other cheek and let us beat the hell out of y'all. Just lay down on that ground and just let the horses stomp on you and the dogs bite you. That's what you do, black folks. But he was more than that. They picked that. So this is what I'm going to get into. All right, Love and Marriage now. Huntsville Star turns herself in for forgery charges. Y'all know, y'all, and it's not even a topic on that show. She running around here with an abuser now. It's hard to have sympathy for you, Destiny, when you run around with a convicted, not no allegedly abuser, but you run around here as your best friend, your protector that you say he was to that therapist. What a abuser, a convicted abuser, you guys. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Coincidentally, it's always in January. January, that was when when what's his name? Martell had the same charge, harassment. He went into to the police station. Oh my God, what happened to him? He was picked up. He was arrested. This in January. Stormy. They claimed that Stormy was her charges was picked up in January. Destiny last January and now Little Berry this January. Smell like a plot to me. Smell like a plan to me. Nobody on this, ain't nobody never heard nothing bad about this man. Nobody, not nobody. Not even Huntsville community. They got an excellent reputation. His mama is a college professor, just like Keke was. They both known as Professor this, Professor that. He works for Boeing, y'all. This man is a government work. This man got all kinds of degrees under his belt. Destiny, you do not like good men. You like them thugs. Moses told us that what? That Destiny did not like this man. He knew when he saw this man that he was not her type. And ain't nothing wrong with him. His mama used to stay across the street from my mama way back in the day, y'all. Back in the 70s. Yeah. Those Williams, they were always, people always looked up to them because they were all about education, you guys. Now he'll marry a woman that's trying to strip him of his job, strip him of everything that he worked hard for. Now, I don't know if he abused her or not. I'm not here to say that. But it's hard to have sympathy for Destiny because Destiny, you running around with a damn convicted abuser. And then you help him torture his wife. What you think she was doing? Y'all were doing when she was up there with Coleslaw showing Mel's kids on TV. What y'all think she was doing the bid Martell when she got down there to St. Thomas and started bringing up Coleslaw? Talking about respect for cheating. She is aiding an abuser to attack another woman. Now here she come. Here she come now with these charges that she want us to feel sorry for her. No, it's never okay to bully nobody. No, domestic violence is never okay. I am a domestic violence survivor, but most domestic survival will not be running around with somebody like Martell because it's too triggering. Look at what that man did at when it came to teaching. God knows a lot of these people on this show we don't like. But his character came out there on that field day. Who set it up? Destiny. Why they kept gaslighting this man to abuse Tisha. I don't like Tisha neither, y'all. I just don't like her character. But Love and Marriage Huntsville Star turns herself in for forgery charges. Is this revenge? Is this a revenge charge? Is she trying to get back? Because I read what she said. Destiny was saying, yeah, my mugshot all over the network. Embarrassment, he did that on purpose. Well, Crimestopper, Destiny wanted for forgery. Is it revenge? Keke and Andre Montgomery, mysterious passing on network, and nobody is connecting the dots. We're wondering, why is it that on network won't get rid of Martell? He's a convicted abuser. Why? They didn't get rid of they didn't get rid of Tim. Tim was allowed to stay on that show. All they care about is ratings. Oh Lord, let me say hi to you guys over here. You guys, I'm gonna be here an hour. Oh my God! Oh, look what I know, Rosa Graham. Oh my God, I have not even tuned in. Thank you. This girl been blessing me for 2025. Grand Rising at Black Titanic. Love your Black history lesson. Have learned so much about our history. And I'm going to say hi to TNT Jamone, Sister Soldier, G Tina, Imputentuous. I'm going to go ahead on to I'm going to go ahead on and start with everything because I got to go. Y'all, I got to go. I got an appointment I can't miss. Grand Rising, Miss BT, Mars, and Chet. Okay, you guys, let's start off with whatever I can find first. Oh Lord, whatever land first, that's what we gonna start off with, okay? Grand Rising, everyone. Grand Rising. We're starting off with the correlation between Keke and Andrew Montgomery passing, you guys. So on network, Carlos King production failed to acknowledge Kiki. She still has not been acknowledged yet. You know why? Because all they did was dehumanize Kiki from the time she stepped her foot through the door. Y'all know on network allegedly ain't no just like not on network, but Carlos production and his producer, they equivalent to me is Tim Norman, right? Tim Norman, he wasn't the one that pulled that trigger, but he was the one that caused the death. Yeah, and I feel the same way about Letitia Scott, Carlos King, and all those Scott, especially Letitia Scott and her husband, uh, Marceau. They didn't pull the trigger, but they were a leading factor into the cause of her death. They dehumanized this woman. Yet all three, everybody on there got mugshot, but they allowed, we can't talk about their mugshot. But put that Professor Kiki up there. She was better than all of y'all. You're just jealous because you took everything you did, Kiki. Tisha, talk about this woman being on drugs when you yourself been convicted of drugs. You allowed your husband to humiliate this girl. On network got in common. Kiki and Andre. The Andre Montgomery, y'all. Both of them died while employed with On Network. Yeah. Don't talk about Maurice mugshot. Don't talk about Martell mugshot. Don't talk about Dustin mugshot, but talk about this girl, Keke, Professor Keke, and humiliate her. Cause y'all pushed her on the edge, especially you, Keke, especially you, Tisha, you and my soul, and Miss Wanda. Pushed this girl to the edge. And the other side, Maurice had the fun to make when she died, Maurice. Fans was upset with Maurice after she died of his insensitive. Andre mom speaks out. Now, Tim knew about Andre coming back to town through his mother, right? He wanted to go back home to prove to his grandmama that he did not steal any of her, Tim wanted to, Andre went back home to where grandma was. He did not want Tim to know, but grandmama notified him. For some reason, I guess she believed her son over her grandson. Y'all, regardless of what Tim did, yeah, this woman knew Tim was no good. But she always believed Tim. But anyway, Andre was notified, this is what I just learned through Tara, by another lady that he was trying to, allegedly, Tim was trying to set Andre up with other women before he got Terica to do it. Terica said they testified in court that they notified Andre of Tim's motive. Andre goes to the FBI police about it, but they did nothing. Okay, this is Andre mom.
And to the point where they wanted to go down to the morgue to identify it was him. So when Dre came back the last time from being in St. Louis, he wasn't dealing with Robbie at the time. He came back and he said, Mom, he said, if anything ever happened to me, just know that Tim did it.
This is Bill B.
What are you talking about? He said, well, just know Tim will never do his own dirty work. And I got that fatal call from her about Dre. And I didn't want to answer the phone. You know, I just didn't want to answer the phone. And then she hung up and she called right back. And then that's when she was like, well, you know, the detective is here. And my heart is already slowing down, you know, and to the point where they wanted to go down to the morgue to identify it was him. That was it. You know, it was like, it was so surreal. Everything was just rolling around. I'm just like, not my son. You know, not my son. Not my son.
So, according to Terica, she never knew that this boy was being set up to be murdered. Her role was just to lure him, just to get information as to where he really was. And she said that Tim had told her that that's the releasing of the balloons, you guys, after they found out that Tim got 30 years life. I think Tim got life plus 20 years. But anyhow, you guys, This is Terica, you guys. This is her TikTok page. This is the woman that helped set Andre up.
32 years, and his recent appeal attempt was denied. He was paid a measly $5,000 just after he executed.
So that's Terica. Terica was paid $10,000. So she did about 36 months, you guys. She also have 2 kids. And she's also was a stripper, and she served him a lot. Now that guy right there, I don't think he got any time at all. He was the one insuring.
For the radar, I'm curious about his thoughts on the ongoing conflict between Israel and Palestine, especially given his vocal social media presence in the past. And now, the man of the hour, Tim Norman, the man with more hits than one should have. Since his conviction, Tim has been tirelessly working on his appeal. His most recent attempt was denied, and the court upheld his previous conviction. So for now, Tim remains in the high security penitentiary in Hazleton, West Virginia, where he belongs. Interestingly enough, Ms.
So let's examine on network, you guys. Tim Norman, Sweetie Pie. Now, Sweetie Pie was was up there. She was like the #1 show on network. And Tim Norman, right? He was abusive. He was a narcissist, just like we see on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now, that's Andre Montgomery. He came to stay with his grandma. Tim has always bullied Andrew, right? Murder for hire. Now, right here during the trial, this was afterwards. This is the family member afterwards. I forgot his name. Is his name Marcus? But anyway, this is the mom side of the family posing right after the trial. Tim got life plus 20 years, right? Now, Terica said that they said that she was, they wanted her to get life as well. But the judge wouldn't do it. The judge looked at Terica as a victim also. Now, she's been standing by her son. Regardless of what y'all say, she stood by her son. Her role in helping this guy get deleted by telling her son he was there was sad. She always wanted to believe in her son. I don't think she would believe that her son would have committed such an act like that. And I still feel like she don't feel like her son is guilty. There's family again. Andre family. They hung on in there. Well, that's the mom, right? This is his mama. She's been interviewed, and she's talking about the time when she first heard the news. The news was that her son, that she sent there to have a better life, had been deleted. And she said at once, he called her and told her that if anything should happen to her, that it will be Tim Norman. I'm just following what I see, you guys. I guess that's it. I thought I had more on there, you guys. Let's just see. That's Andre right there, you guys. Andre did graduate from high school, and Miss Robbie, that's Miss Robbie's grandson. Now, her son got murdered too. And on that same street that her grandson Andrew did. And according to Terica, another young lady had told him what was the plan, the plot. And that's why he was arguing with his grandma, telling his grandma, I'm scared, Grandma, I'm scared. I fear for my life because your son, my uncle, got people after me. That's still Norma and Sweetie Pie, and she's sticking by him regardless. So what we do know is that right now we have another crisis going on with the same thing. Another crisis, which is Martell hoax. Martell hoax. Yeah. On network, we do know that we had Andrew Montgomery and Keke. They both died mysteriously dealing with On Network. So this is the second time that On Network have had death, mysterious people dying. And Sweetie Pie, Andre Montgomery, Love and Marriage Huntsville, Keke. After the break-in, Andrew texted Robbie to explain that he could not take a polygraph to clear his name because he done left town. Now see what happened was that Miss Sweetie, she wanted Andre to take a lie detector test because she was believing that no good son that he had broke into her house. Andre came back because he wanted the men with his grandma. He loved his grandma. He did not want his grandma to know, to think that he would do that to her. But anyway, Andre said, Grandma, I've been out of town. 'Cause you believe me, and I'm not about to get hurt from nobody for some shit I didn't do. Telling you know Tim is after me, Grandma. You know your son. Tim is after me. And later, I'm not just about to be sitting still when I know Tim got people looking for me. Now, according to Terrico, she's out of jail, that another young lady he had elicited to set him up told him and called him and told him. And then, allegedly, Miss Robbie told Tim that Andre was back in town. The district court admitted messages into evidence, reasoning that they showed that Andrew did existing of the mind was fear of Norma. Norman complained that the government exceeded that narrow Rule 803 purpose by arguing at closing that Andrew feared Norma had people after him. He was right. He was right. He did not object to the statement and does not now argue that, you guys. You're watching Boots on the Ground. This is On Network. On Network with these serious cases of, what about Keke, y'all? What about Keke? Let's see what this says. Now, Norma argues that it was inadmissible because the only proof of Carol's membership was the disputed statement itself, which could not alone establish his participation in the conspiracy. Now, these are not in order, but I'm just this is the mindset of Tim. Tim is arguing that he couldn't participate in the conspiracy to commit murder. Norma gets the rule right, but the record wrong. There was ample evidence of Carol's involvement in the conspiracy. That's Mr. Hill now, the trucker man. I mean, I don't know who Carol is, but I know the trucker man is Mr. Hill. I don't know who Mr. Carol is unless that's the insurance man, y'all. Hill testified that he met with Carol and said that Norman could give him anything he wanted for the task. On the day of the murder, Carol picked Norma up from the airport, and Norma sent him photos, oh my God, of Andrew's Instagram. So he hiring all these strangers. Norma was healed and asked if he had talked to Carol. Whoever Carol was now, I know Mr. Hill was a trigger man, which gave Hill the impression that Norma wanted him to go delete Andrew. He then bought the pow. He used hours later to do just that. So, we're still talking about the murder of Andre. Enters Trevor Hill, the hired gunman, and Chris Carroll. Norman was on the ground in St. Louis. Weeks before the murder, Hill and Carroll met to discuss Hill's speech. And Carroll told him that he was asking for too much money to kill Andrew. They only gave that man $5,000, y'all. When Andrew showed up at Sweetie Pie's, Sweetie Pie then called her son and said, "Hey, look, Andrew is in town," allegedly. Carroll and his security guard text Norma about his return. Norma flew to St. Louis a week later. He met with Hill the next day. That's the trigger man now. And asked if he had talked to Carol. Now, I don't know who Carol is, y'all. A question Hill interpreted as confirmation that Norma wanted to delete Andrew, his own nephew. So Hill was the trigger man. He bought a gun. Now look, Terica is going to say that she did not know. She said she didn't know that was involved. Her involvement was just to get him out there. She said she thought that he just wanted that money back. And she said somebody had stolen from her before. So, she got her money back after they scared him and threatened to call the police. So she thought that that's what was going on. But she said after she gave him some clothes that he told her to pick up from the mall, by the time she got a few blocks away, she heard gunshots. Then she said that wasn't unusual for that area in St. Louis. But Hill bought the gun. That same day, Norman invited Terica Ellis to his hotel. Ellis always serviced Mr. Norman. She was a lady of the night and a stripper. Her dad was a pimp. That little young girl, my God, she's intelligent, but she really was a victim. He set her up. Now, Norman set her up to fall, too, to take the rap for her. He told her that he was looking for Andrew, and she agreed to find him. Norman gave her $10,000. He gave her $10,000 now, but he gave the trigger man $5,000. Communication then volleyed between Ellis and Andrew, and Ellis is Terica, y'all, and Andrew, that's the deceased victim, among Ellis, Hill, and Norman. Ellis pinned Andrew down after a few hours and on Hill's order got him in her car. She gave him the clothes, then she texted Tim and told him where he was at and the address. He left a few moments later and Ellis saw a text from Hill. "Move," he said, "move." Shot rang out as she sped off and Andrew was deceased. So, we're still talking about the murder of Andre. Enters Trevor Hill, the hired gunman, and Chris Carroll. Norman was on the ground in St. Louis. Weeks before the murder, Hill and Carroll met to discuss Hill's speech. And Carroll told him that he was asking for too much money to kill Andrew. They only gave that man $5,000, y'all. When Andrew showed up at Sweetie Pie's, Sweetie Pie then called her son and said, hey, look, Andrew is in town, allegedly. Carol and his security guard text Norma about his return. Norma flew to St. Louis a week later. He met with Hill the next day. That's the trigger man now. And asked if he had talked to Carol. Now, I don't know who Carol is, y'all. A question Hill interpreted as confirmation that Norma wanted to delete Andrew, his own nephew. So Hill was the trigger man. He bought a gun. Now look, Terica is going to say that she did not know. She said she didn't know that was involved. Her involvement was just to get him out there. She said she thought that he just wanted that money back. And she said somebody had stole from her before. So, she got her money back after they scared him and threatened to call the police. So she thought that that's what was going on. But she said after she gave him some clothes that he told her to pick up from the mall, by the time she got a few blocks away, she heard gunshots. Then she said that wasn't unusual for that area in St. Louis. But Hill bought the gun. That same day, Norman invited Terica Ellis to his hotel. Ellis always serviced Mr. Norman. She was a lady of the night and a stripper. Her dad was a pimp. That little young girl, my God, she's intelligent, but she really was a victim. He set her up. Now, Norman set her up to fall, too, to take the rap for her. He told her that he was looking for Andrew, and she agreed to find him. Norman gave her $10,000. He gave her $10,000 now, but he gave the trigger man $5,000. Communications then volleyed between Ellis and Andrew, and Ellis is Terica, y'all, and Andrew, that's the deceased victim, among Ellis, Hill, and Norman. Ellis pinned Andrew down after a few hours and on Hill's order got him in her car. She gave him the clothes, then she texted Tim and told him where he was at and the address. He left a few moments later and Ellis saw a text from Hill. Move, he said, move. Shot rang out as she sped off and Andrew was deceased. So, we're still talking about the murder of Andre. Enters Trevor Hill, the hired gunman, and Chris Carroll. Norman was on the ground in St. Louis. Weeks before the murder, Hill and Carroll met to discuss Hill's fee. And Carroll told him that he was asking for too much money to kill Andrew. They only gave that man $5,000, y'all. When Andrew showed up at Sweetie Pie's, Sweetie Pie then called her son and said, hey, look, Andrew is in town, allegedly. Carroll and his security guard text Norma about his return. Norma flew to St. Louis a week later. He met with Hill the next day. That's the trigger man now. And asked if he had talked to Carol. Now, I don't know who Carol is, y'all. A question Hill interpreted as confirmation that Norma wanted to delete Andrew, his own nephew. So Hill was but there's definitely a correlation with love and marriage principle between keke and Andrew. They both were bullied. They both was ignored and also allowed these people on the cast, those castmates to bully these, to bully keke, especially keke. What was the difference? You have all these mug shots on Love and Marriage Huntsville, yet they don't want you to talk about it. But they really made a difference between Kiki's mug shot and everybody else's mug shot. Let's just see what this say right here. This was circulating on IG, you guys, about Destiny. So it's kind of let me bring it up. Yeah, Destiny. It says Love and Marriage Huntsville star Destiny Payton wanted on Crime Stoppers for forgery. So we can't say that. Maybe it's just a revenge, you guys. She just want to get revenge back on LaBerridge. Or maybe he really did abuse her, but it's hard to have sympathy for someone that aligned themselves with another abuser against another female. It say looks like another star from the reality TV show Love and Marriage Huntsville has made an appearance on Crime Stoppers. Reports are circulating that Destiny Payton Williams is wanted by Huntsville PD for allegedly forging her ex-husband's name on a utility contract. We do know that this summer, he had her back to back getting mugshot. That's just not the first Love and Marriage Huntsville star to be featured on Crime Stopper. Here they go, y'all. Keke Javar was recently shown wanted for stealing from a home improvement store with her child. Now, she was never convicted, you guys. Keep in mind, she never did go to jail. Keep in mind, she was telling y'all it was identity mistake. So, but anyway, they condemned her. Love and Marriage Huntsville condemned that woman. The scandal has been a focus of the cast on the show's thing. So, seems like everybody on this show have a mug shot, y'all. Every time on this show, all of them have a mug shot. So, what makes Destiny in a different? Why is it that they want us to feel so compassionate and sorry for Destiny, but when it came to Melody, her own case was minimized. I'm gonna keep it through. Let's just look at Martin Luther King, you guys. Let's just look at this video right quick. Yeah. I just want to add that Martin Luther King's brother, A.D. King, was assassinated, you guys. Now, on here, I'm going to focus mostly on Martin Luther King's mom. Happy birthday, Martin Luther King. Happy birthday. Well, Trump did his victory rally speech today. He also reactivated TikTok. But he's getting sworn in at his inauguration around Martin Luther King's birthday. This is Martin Luther King, I Have a Dream speech. This speech, I Have a Dream, I've been to the mountaintop. Those two speeches I heard wasn't what he really had wrote down. The late gospel singer, that celebrity, the OG, Mahalia Jackson, he had the night before was talking to her and was telling her about her dream. He gets up on the podium to speak and she hollered, "What about that dream you had last night?" And that is what he just started freestyling about what he saw and felt in his dream. Certainly, the ancestors were speaking through this man. This is Martin Luther King, I Have a Dream speech. I am happy to join with you today as this greatest demonstration for freedom in history of our nation. 5 score vast ocean of material. This nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evidence that all men are created equally. I have a dream. I said I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, I have a dream. I have a dream today that sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owner will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream. I have a dream today. I said I have a dream today that one day even the state of Mississippi, sweltering with his heat of injustice, I have a dream that even the state of Mississippi, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream. I have a dream today that my 4 little children will live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. I said I have a dream today that my little children will live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that down in Alabama, I said, I have a dream today. I have a dream that down in Alabama with the governor having his lips dripping with the words of hatred. I have a dream today that every hill and every mountain shall be made low. I have a dream today that every hill shall be exalted. I have a dream. I have a dream today that every rough places will be made plain. I have a dream. I have a dream today that every mountain, every rough places, and every crooked place will be made straight. I have a dream. And with this faith, I have a dream. With this faith, we will be able to hew out the mountains of despair. Take it away, Dr. Martin Luther King. Take it away. I have a dream today that one day, even the state of Mississippi, sweltering with his heat of injustice, I have a dream that even the state of Mississippi, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream. I have a dream today that my 4 little children will live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. I said I have a dream today that my little children will live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. I have a dream today I have a dream that down in Alabama, I said, I have a dream today. I have a dream that down in Alabama with the governor having his lips dripping with the words of hatred. I have a dream today that every hill and every mountain shall be made low. I have a dream today that every hill shall be exalted. I have a dream. I have a dream today that every rough places will be made plain. I have a dream. I have a dream today that every mountain, every rough places, and every crooked place will be made straight. I have a dream. And with this faith, I have a dream. With this faith, we will be able to hew out the mountains of despair. Take it away, Dr. Martin Luther King. Take it away. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Who was Martin Luther King's mom? Her name was Alberta King, you guys. Born in 1903 in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, this is by Hype Plus, you guys. Y'all check
Celeste and Reverend A.D. Williams.
Hype Plus. This is who this by. This just started from the beat from here.
In the nation. Unfortunately, the King family legacy is all.
That's his dad and his mom, you guys. Well, which one is Martin? I don't know. That Martin sitting in the lap. Oh, that go Martin over there with his wife. Okay. Those must be grandkids right there, y'all. The King family legacy. There go Martin. He must have been barely in his 20s back there.
So tainted by wrongful deaths. 6 years after the assassination of one of the world's most esteemed leaders, Dr. King, his mother, Alberta Williams King, would suffer the same fate, dying at the hands of a gunman. The tragic incident led the world to wonder why anyone would seek to harm a family who has already experienced so much sorrow. Some would say the answer is religion, others, misguided anger. This is the untold true story of the assassination of Alberta Williams King and the Black Hebrew Israelite who took her life. Mrs. Alberta Williams King was born in 1903 in Atlanta, Georgia. She was the daughter of Jenny Celeste and Reverend A.D. Williams, the second pastor of Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta. The upstanding values her parents instilled in her, principles that she would pass down to her children, are the foundation for the historic.
Y'all know Senator Warnock that just won. I think he's been a senator like 2 years, you guys. That's his church now. He's been there for a while.
Legacy created by her second born, Martin Luther King Jr. Mrs. King's life was deeply rooted in her faith and activism. Her father, husband, and both of her sons were all ministers at Ebenezer, where she played an integral role until she retired in 1972. The King matriarch would often return to lead the church in song. Ironically, Ebenezer Baptist Church, just a few blocks away from where her son Martin was buried 6 years prior, was where Mrs. Alberta Williams King took her last breath. Her death was classified as an assassination. The man who carried out the heinous act was 23-year-old Marcus Wayne Chenault. Born on June 30th, 1951 in Winchester, Kentucky, Marcus Wayne was described as a quiet child who read a lot. He was raised by his parents, Marcus H. and Hinda Lee Chenault. They were God-fearing and lived comfortably. That was until they moved to Dayton, Ohio, when Marcus, often called Wayne by his family, was a teenager. Hinda Lee, who was deeply religious, recalled to Washington Post. Up until 1967, he seemed to enjoy the church, but later he became a bit confused and started asking questions about different things in the Bible. As a student in high school, Chenault excelled academically. A school officer at Dayton Roth High School told Jet magazine, "He just went from homeroom to class. I never had any trouble with him. He was as good as gold." In 1969, Marcus was accepted into Ohio State University, and it was during his college matriculation that his demeanor began to change. Although he was still described as quiet and studious by his professors and peers, it was during this time that he began to reassess his traditional Christian values. Leon Vaughn, one of Chenault's Ohio State classmates, told Jet magazine, "Marcus was a really beautiful cat. He interpreted things to me like the Bible and the Star of David. The main thing he would say is that religion isn't for real because people couldn't be charged for the truth. He resented preachers riding around in Cadillacs. He said that parts of the New Testament were false and that King James stole literature from blacks and didn't give them any credit. He said King James was a Caucasian who based his interpretations on America's standards. His newfound religious ideals came from the teachings of his mentor, Hananiah Israel of Cincinnati. Hananiah, a spiritual teacher whose legal name is Stephen Hallman, spread messages from what he called a form of Judaism. Chenault met Hananiah about 8 months before the incident after seeing his advertisement titled, "What Every Negro Should Know About Scripture," in a magazine. Israel began instructing him in the Bible during meetings in which Chenault took lots of notes and often invited friends. Hananiah criticized black civil rights activists and church leaders as evil and deceptive. In his teachings, he wrote, "When you stop those lying preachers from deceiving you and your loved ones, from robbing them of millions of dollars a year, you will have a better economy." He also taught that black civil rights leaders were leading black people to doom. He told Dayton Daily News, "White men are being used by the Most High as a correcting rod, but God is going to do away with white people and free my people. When black people are freed, they will be the masters and whites will be the slaves. Until then, blacks should remain slaves to white men because that is the role God has assigned to them." Although Israelites insisted that he did not advocate for violence, he taught that only the death of black ministers would free black people. He told Dayton.
So this young man, right, he was obviously confused. He was supposed to have been an Israelite. His name was Marcus Chenault Jr. He was 23 years old, y'all. He committed the tragic murder of Alberta King.
Various sources, including certain aspects of Christianity and Judaism, and have created their own interpretation of the Bible. They are not associated with the mainstream.
Let's see if I can get a picture of him, a better picture of him. Let's see.
According to witness testimony, once the service began, he was seen sitting in the amen corner of the pews, which is normally reserved for the most devout worshipers. Mrs. King finished playing the Lord's Prayer on the organ, and as the congregation bowed their heads in prayer, they heard Marcus shout, "I'm taking over here this morning." They looked up to find him standing on the pew holding a gun. His first shot struck Mrs. King in the head, and she fell over the organ. "It seemed like I was watching a scene from a bad movie play out," Christine King Ferris, Alberta's daughter, would recall in her 2009 memoir, Through It All. Marcus fired every round in his gun. He stood over Mrs. King and shot her again. He shot a deacon, Edward Boykin, and a church member, Jimmy Mitchell. Mrs. King's grandson, Derek, who said he helped to subdue the gunman as he tried to reload a pistol, told The Guardian. "He was delirious. He said over and over, 'The war did this to me. It's the war.'" As Marcus fled, the sanctuary was in chaos. Christine described, "There were people everywhere. There was a throng of onlookers. When I looked in their eyes, I saw what is often described as the 1,000-yard stare. It was a kind of blankness I'd never seen before." Mrs. King was taken to the nearby Grady Memorial Hospital, where officials say she was barely alive on arrival. The King family.
So I'm just wondering why six. Yeah, that was King's mother. That was 6 years after Dr. King's assassination. They went in that church. That was bold. He was black. He walked in that church and the leader, her and a deacon, and they passed, and then the other guy, he survived. And then I don't know if y'all know, but A.D. King was the right-hand man. Oftentimes you see Mr. King, you will see his brother. Right after King assassination, a year later, the brother was assassinated. So that family has been just really going through a lot. And oftentimes we want to seem like as if it was a long time ago. It was not no long time ago. The children's still alive. The brother wife, she's teaching at a local college, you guys. Yeah. But let me just go ahead on and just talk a little bit more about Destiny. Y'all, I'd like to pull up the fans, what they say about Destiny. Okay. I think, did I read this one? Let me see what this say. I got to make it bigger. It says, looks like, I think I read this, but it looks like another star from the reality TV show Love and Marriage Huntsville appears on Crime Stopper. Okay, we read that one. Yes, the whole show. We need to call this Love After Lockup or Love During Lockup or something, you guys. That's what we need to call this. Yeah. Let's see. I thought I had something else out here for Destiny. Anyway, you guys, what do y'all think? I'm going to read some of y'all comments over here. What do y'all think about Destiny? Do anybody sympathize with Destiny over here? Come on and talk to me. Do anybody sympathize with her? Huh? Or is it that you guys just, what is this? What is she saying? Jesus is not God. The teachings are false. All right. I don't know. Okay. Thank you, young lady. Good morning. So nobody don't have anything to say about Destiny. Y'all have no opinion about Destiny this morning. Okay, Destiny, look like you dodging the bullet over here on BT's platform. You dodging the bullet over here, girl. But anyway, you guys, I'm just so upset with how this took place, you guys, because I really am a woman far and foremost, and a mother and a grandmother of daughters, and we don't want to. We're not sure whether she been abused or not. And like I said, Ariel said Destiny has been aggressive all season. Yeah, it's strange that if she's abused, she would be supporting. She would be supporting an abuser. Let's just see what this says right here. How I see it said, didn't Destiny just tell didn't Destiny just tell Trish and Mel that the event wasn't about them? Here she goes, actually popping off in front of her supposedly man's mom at her bachelorette party in front of Nell. Melody was classy to make sure she addressed Trish before Nell got there. So this how I see it is another content creator, and she's talking about that event. Michael said a lot of thoughts about Destiny. It's just not worth it. Yeah. So Destiny was getting on Melody, giving Melody all this energy at Nell's event, because Melody confronted Trish. Y'all, these people got Trish. Lord have mercy, the way Trish go off on people, she really don't need to be on that show. Trish don't need to be on that show. This is what she talking about. Y'all saw that when Melody said, hey, you got a problem with me? I heard, and Melody said, I don't even know you. And that girl went off on Melody. But the main person that really, to me, that was the instigator was Kimmy, you guys. And y'all know that. Kimmy was the instigator, because Kimmy was the one went and took that bone to Melody, told Melody that Trish said that she was messing, that she was instigating when it came to her husband, right? So this girl right here, she is very erratic. She remind me of a female Marcus, you guys. Not Marcus, she remind me of female Martell, you guys. Yeah, that's what she remind me of. Oh my God. So somebody else says, since LB and Destiny can speak on each other according to the court records, Allegedly, I hope and pray that LB mamas come forth and speak on the situation and set Dusty up, DNA tests and all. So what they're talking about, right? I'm just reading what some of the fans are saying. So what are they saying right here about Destiny? They're saying that if there's a possibility he is somebody I know that he is negotiating an interview with, right? So she's saying that if he do an interview with anyone, they want to know about the DNA. Most everybody's more concerned about the DNA than the abuse charge, but this is what one of the fans saying. This come from Golden Life. Yes, she do. She said she want to know about all her DNA tests. Was Martell one of the men that had to do the DNA test? A lot of people is saying that Martell was one of the 3 men that had to do a DNA test. Also with Destiny, the reason we know that she lies so much is because Destiny had me feeling so sorry for her, said that this man left her. He left her when that the baby was 6 weeks old. That's what she said. And then she was running around with Martell at the time. Melody was not divorced from Martell. She was sneaking around with Martell. Let me put it like that. She running around with Martell talking about how good of a man Martell was. He was so much better than LeBerry. So then we come to find out that this man not only he did leave, but he looked out for her. He paid up her mortgage payment for 1 whole year, you guys, in that house. He really left the house to her, told her, I'm going to pay up the mortgage payment for 1 whole year, and then you refinance it back into your own name. She never wanted to do that. She thought that he was going to do that forever for her, because Destiny wants everybody to do for her. She's a taker, not a giver. So I'm like, oh my God, Destiny, how you gonna say that Martell was the better man during the divorce with Martell didn't care where his kids slept at. He didn't care if his kid was homeless. He didn't care if they had a bed to sleep in. All he know, that's how low down he was. So those are kind of things that I think about when Destiny say something. I always remember that about that house. So y'all, let's see what else they're saying. I'm reading from my phone, y'all, right? So this one says, if Dusty tries to make that agreement with LB, that is akin to extortion. I don't know. I don't know if they're talking about Destiny does not want to be convicted, or Destiny does not want to pay the money she owed. So they simply saying, well, maybe she's going to exchange that, say, I'll drop the charges on you if you drop the amount of money that I owe you. Right? So that's what some of them are saying, y'all. And then it says, it's time for LeBerry to open his mouth, speak up about Destiny. Tell it all, because he been quiet, you guys. He have really been quiet. He have not battered her on TV or anything. Y'all know that. Well, you guys, Destiny, it's just shocking to me, right? It's just shocking to me that she would bring this man in court. We don't know anything about LeBerry, but we sure know a lot about you, Destiny. Do y'all look at that? If you go to his Facebook page, all he got on his Facebook page, every morning he gets up and pray. Every day you're going to see some type of prayer every day. And then you see his son. That's all you see on the Facebook, him and his son socializing. Belinda says she is funny. And I agree with you, Miss Bird. A lot of thoughts about Destiny. It's just not worth it. Yeah, and so Destiny got a husband now. She do not. Destiny don't be over LeBerry. I mean, she was married to this man, but who do you think that she be talking about all the time? She talks about Moses all the time. Because look here, Destiny, right here at this event, y'all. She calls herself trying to check Melody, tell Melody don't be starting no mess at Miss Nell event. And I have to tell y'all, it wasn't nobody there. All we saw was the cast and then the two models in the back. Destiny, Destiny playing that. If I were Miss Nell, I wouldn't let Destiny playing anything for me. But anyway, Sonny walks through the door. Soon as Sonny walks through the door, Destiny goes off. Destiny, get over it. The man just don't want you. Now everybody don't agree with how Sonny and Moses got together, although he was never married to her, married to Destiny. But get over it. He just don't want you. He been married twice on Destiny. Nobody feels sorry for Moses' first wife. 15 years this man was married. This girl messing around with this man, and all the time, what was Lil Barrett? She never stopped messing with Moses. Moses been in the picture all the time, even while she was married to Moses. I mean to Lil Barrett, and not to mention Moses was all up in that house. That man was paying the mortgage payment and who she had up in there, because there's been plenty of pictures that I done saw with Moses up in that house, in that man's house. So Destiny, that's one of the reasons why a lot of people can't feel sorry for you. But she's going around now singing. She told that therapy that Montel was her protector. You run around with a convicted abuser, yet you want everybody to feel sorry for you. That makes sense. How is Montel protecting you? Montel using you, that's what he's doing, but he's certainly not protecting you. Y'all, and the everybody on this show, they got double standards. Just double standards on this show when it comes to male. I'm going to get on off, you guys. I got to go for my appointment. Thank you guys for being here. And I'm going to keep looking out. Hopefully this person get the interview that I know. She don't want me to mention her name yet, but she will. She's going to get the interview. They did contact her about interviewing Lil Barrett. It's Lil Barrett and his mother, right? They contacted this person, so there may be a possible interview going on. And definitely we want to know about this DNA. Definitely. I want to know if Montel was one of the ones that had to get the DNA. Now that would be tea, y'all. That would be tea. All right, you guys, I got to get ready to go. It's after 9:04. My appointment is for 10 o'clock. Let me just read some of this stuff that y'all are saying over here. Says, I don't believe anything Dusty Dan have to say. She need to get a life, clown. Yeah, she need to get a life. She more worried about Sonny. She more worried about Sonny and Moses than she is her own husband. She rarely talked about her own husband, right? Yeah. She's funny. Let's see what Area is saying. Destiny has been aggressive all season. She seemed like she got a lot of anger problems. And then we come to find out that Destiny and Trish been knowing each other a while, since the early 20s. So I'm wondering, was she hanging out with Trish when he and Martell? Because she hang out with all the men. That's what she do. She hang out with all of Martell women's, you know. Or Area said, Grand Rising, my deepest condolences about this, but it's true about the religion part. Or you must be talking about the Israelite, the young man that deleted Martin Luther King mom. Oh, Good morning, Black Titanic mods and chat. Thanks so much for your commentary. Love your wisdom. Thank you very much, young lady. Thank you. I didn't see a whole lot of people doing stuff for Martin Luther King. Used to be, that's all you would hear around his birthday, but not a lot of people, if you go across the internet, not a lot of people is acknowledging him. Yeah, I wish they would have told that before he passed. Martin Luther King said he regretted. He regretted some of that teaching his people to turn the other cheek. Yeah. Anything, my sister Black Titanic. Yeah, I was thanking Nosy for the super sticker. Thank you so much. Grand Rising, Miss BT and chat. Miss Robbie thought he robbed her house. Tim did that too. You know what? He showed it. I got a letter in here. Thank you for bringing that. Let me read this Andre letter. Let me see if I got it. Because Andre had told his mother, let's see if this is y'all. I'm going to get it. Yeah, Andre, this is very sad to me. I really think that wait a minute. I think that own network is responsible a lot of, and they do a lot of ignoring things because they just interested in the rating. In particular, you can expect honesty from people who lie in themselves. Yeah. Okay. Let me see if I can say this note, and then I'm gonna get on out of here. I got a note from Andre when he was talking to his mama. Let's see. Or did I read it already? But I want to read it again. It soon became clear that Norman lesson in manhood written going to as planned. Andrew dropped out of school. Yeah, because his mama sent him over there for a better life. He stopped showing up to work and left his apartment. Things came to a head in June 2015 when someone broke into the home of Robbie Montgomery, matron and owner of Sweetie's Pie. Now, I often wonder why Sweetie Pie did not suspect her son, because already he was opening up loans in her, unauthorized loans in her name, opening up all these different restaurants in her name. So they really wasn't speaking, but all the dirt he had did to his mama. Soon as her house was broken and he pointed the finger at Andrew, the mom believed it. Until today, you guys, that's still her son. She got her son back. Robbie suspected her grandson Andrew and wanted him to take a polygraph to prove his innocence. But fearing that Norman was after him, he had skipped town. I wish he would have stayed out of town. In September, Yogman peddled a new life insurance policy with one catch. Norma had to wait 6 months before he could be listed as the policy owner. Norma was not interested because Andrew might not make it 6 months. Oh my God. So this child allegedly was killed over some insurance money. Yagman kept posting him to call the insurance company for recorded interviews, but Norma didn't want to be on tape. It has changed, he wrote, and Andrew ain't gonna be around much longer. It has changed. He put the S over there, but the hit. And Andrew ain't gonna be around much longer. Y'all know what we reading? We reading a murder plot. That's a murder plot right there, y'all. That was not, I thought that was the note. Anyway, I was trying to find a note where Andrew was telling his mama that he was scared and feared for his life, y'all. He feared for his life. He told his mama. He even went to the FBI because they had warned him. Terica said that it was another young lady that they were trying to elicit to lure Andrew, and then she said that lady, that girl right there turned him down, y'all. But she went and told Andrew or Dre, they call him Dre. They went and told Dre that he was trying to delete him. So, he went to the FBI, told the police everything, but they didn't take him serious. Then with the grandmama, Sweetie Pie, when he came to town, he just went to town. He did not want his grandmama to think ill of him. He loved his grandma. When he came back so he can prove to his grandmama that you got the wrong impression of me, grandma. That's the only reason he came back. And one thing she made her mistake was telling Tim that he was back in town. And y'all know the rest. This is the Andrew family right here, y'all. What I like about them, all the content creators was covering the story. They went to court, but that's his mama standing right here, and that's his family. That was after they fought hard. He got life plus 20 years, I believe, is what he got, you guys. Yeah. Anyway, I'm finna go, you guys. And so I thank each and every one of you for everything. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all so much. What is it? Miss Ariel, you over here talking, ain't you? That brainwashed Martin Luther King, just like all of us. We have to retrain our thoughts because they lied about everything in this world. All right, Miss Ariel. Okay, Miss Ariel, she over here talking shit. She must be on her own spiritual path. Y'all know I respect everybody's spirituality. I've been on a spiritual journey all my life. And so, we all got ways. So we all got spiritual journey, you guys, right? We have to find our own spiritual journey. What makes us tick, right? All right, y'all. Goodbye. I'm gone. Let me wait. Hey, I just want to say bye to y'all. I'm gonna put this dance up here and just want to see y'all. Thank y'all for being here. See y'all later.
Game of the 50-50. Game of the 50-50. All right, ladies, you got your fans? All right, y'all. Let's do a little work about let's here we go, y'all. I don't know if y'all know Westlove and the 478 band. See